Welcome and well met, mortals, friends, ghosts, witches, dark souls and entities, graveyard dancers with fresh dirt still stuck between the cracks of the platform heels of your heavy, black, club-stomping zombie apocalypse boots, vampires, sinners, losers, winners, and beautiful little bats, once again to a very special segment associated with Dancing with the Dark, our Sunday night gothic and industrial dance party. This is our new segment known as Speaking with the Dark. This is in fact our fourth episode of Speaking with the Dark, and I am still not certain if we've quite got to the hang of it yet, and so I shall start by profusely thanking my very special guest, who is a desert native from the city of Coachella, California, known as the one and only Dead Stare. Dead Stare is a being trapped inside of a marble-esque, statue-like face, destined to perform and dance for all eternity. And I must thank him for joining me this evening. The spirit of Dead Stare is an amalgamation of everything that has come before, the many, many artists of inspiration, such as the Sisters of Mercy, Ghost, and Twin Tribes. And so I shall begin by asking you in your own words, Dead Stare, how is it that you describe yourself, and what instruments do you play?
Well, I think the one way that I do like to describe myself, which is like my brother said, is I think Dead Stare is like you're going to a vampire blood rave, just completely high on drugs. So I think I want to keep true to spirit to that, and I want to keep that spirit going to keep that, that feeling going. But it definitely is an amalgamation of everything that has come before, from listening to all like metal bands as a kid to now even the alternative drag scene in Cathedral City is like a huge part of everything that makes me and what it is, and like right here with Miss Cherry, of course. But as for instruments, my main instrument would be guitar. I started like actually singing, I guess you could say, when I was in high school. That's where I discovered I was a bass. And then I took like a class of beginning piano. So those are probably the main three. I also go into bass, and then if I had a drum set, I'd love to, but I don't have a drum set. But yeah, I think that's a good little summary there.
That is absolutely spectacular, a spectacle of which I myself can attest to, and can't say enough to anyone that has not yet seen Dead Stare or heard of Dead Stare. You are certainly missing out. And who are these precious and delightful beauties that you have brought with you today on your adventure this evening?
Well, I would let them introduce themselves. Go ahead.
Boo, I am Doll Nocturna, your malevolent transsexual of divine darkness. And this is my diva.
Yes, hello. My name is Miss Cherry Superstar. I am the dark drag diva of your dreams. How are you, my loves? Good to be here with you guys.
Excited.
So excited.
So
Thank you for having us.
Yes, lovely, and all the more spectacular. This is just absolutely lovely. And I am in such a mood this evening because I am so honored with the presence of these absolutely amazing performers. And so, of course, I have to ask you, what is the mood of your evening? How are each of you feeling? And how is life in general treating you?
Good so far. I would say good. Definitely on an up right now. A lot of good things coming, a lot of good things planned. Looking forward to creating more and just doing more. So, yeah, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight.
Likewise.
Through our world kind of being on fire and being in shambles, having a little bit of community and fun between like some like-minded people is honestly the best kind of place to be in.
To be able to create art with like-minded individuals through these times is honestly like a savior.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And as it is written in the stars, I suppose, it was destined for us to eventually meet, if nothing more than just to record this interview, because Dancing with the Dark, would not be complete. We would certainly be remiss without you, but we were introduced by the lovely DJ V-Dub, who is assisting us here with the cameras today in our cozy little gothic home studio today. Thank you so very much to DJ V-Dub, who saved the day for helping us with the video version of this interview, since I'm likewise hosting. And although I am a bit freakish at times, I only have one set of arms, and DJ V-Dub, who likewise has a show known as Local Tracks on COD Roadrunner Radio.
Yeah, shout out Local Tracks.
She recommended that I add your music to our Sunday Night Dancing with the Dark playlist. So, of course, once I began speaking with the Dark, and not just dancing with it, I, of course, decided that, in fact, I insisted that I should likewise record an updated interview with you, and for speaking with the Dark, to let our more specifically gothic and industrial listeners know more about you and what it is that you've been up to as of late. And we will get to that shortly. But as for the three of you, how is it that you all came to get to know each other?
Well,
Right, so where do we start?
well, yeah, Miss Cherry and I have actually been friends for like over 10 years now. She's one of my other two best friends, so been through a ton with her. But as for the three of us, like coming together and making this into something, we actually met at BART in Cathedral City.
At the drag race.
Because of Creatures
At
of the
Creatures
Night.
of the Night.
Every Wednesday night, you better
Hosted
go.
by Natasha Backwards.
Yes,
Yeah,
myself,
we,
Sacred Sapphire, Bellamy, and Miss Behind Band. There's a couple of us out here.
But we met there every Wednesday. We kind of just all... It's so cool. It's honestly what it's become. Such a small, not even that small, honestly, but such a tight-knit, close community. Everybody knows each other. Everybody has each other's back. Everybody looks out for each other in the best possible way. It's honestly such a blessing to be around so many of these people every week. Every week, these are like the friends that I just hang out with all the time, the people that I can trust. Like, it's become such a blessing, honestly.
Little safe haven for a bunch of queerdos around, you know, queerdos and allies alike. It really has become a home for all of us to just congregate and kind of let our inhibitions out and free, and just kind of trust in each other that it'll be a safe space within ourselves. You know?
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, I think within like a year of being there, I completely transformed into what I am now. Fully.
100%.
This art.
It changes you. Like it makes
really
you feel
does.
free. It makes you.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I started videography more and photography. That's what
grows your art, especially being around a bunch of artists.
Yep.
And
yeah.
Like-minded.
You feel bad not doing something.
Yeah, you're
oh,
like,
now
what
I
the
have
fuck
to
am I
do
doing?
something.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to come up with. Yeah. They have alter
You're like, what kind of
egos and
art do I
personas?
do? Yeah.
Shoot. Okay. I'll wear a mask. I don't know. Yeah.
I absolutely couldn't agree more. And that is just wonderful. I love the energy that is in this room tonight with your presence, and love the feelings of self-fulfillment. You know, that's I absolutely love that your friendships resulted as means of that. And about the name Dead Stare, why did you choose this name? While it's true that your unholy appearance may be enough to frighten someone, or at least someone's grandmother, or perhaps small child, half to death, is it rumored that if someone looks at you a certain way, or if you look at them, that they shall die if you stare at them in some mythical or foreboding way, perhaps? Or are you in possession of the evil eye? Is that what this sacred amulet around your neck is symbolizing?
Are you giving away all my secrets now? Are you letting everybody into everything? No, but Dead Stare, as it blatantly is a dead stare into nothingness. Blank, bulging eye, red eye, crying, whatever you want it to be. It is a dead stare of no emotion, of nothing except that to you. And that's kind of what it came from. It just comes from previous history of who I was as a person and things I've experienced. And, you know, sometimes like when you're feeling emotions and mental health and things like that, sometimes everything comes all together and you just fall into a dead stare where you just can't do anything. you're just stuck and you're just feeling, and it's a numb feeling, and that's where the name comes from. It's it has a lot more meaning than it really turns out to be, I guess, but it just comes from a lot of past experience and who I am as a person and what has made me.
I see, that's very interesting. Were there ever other members of your band or of your act that didn't quite make the cut or decided to quit, or has it always just pretty much been you going at it alone?
Pretty much from the start, it's always been me. The first 2 years of Dead Stare before I actually released my song last year, it's almost a year. Next month? No, this month. What month are we in? May?
It's
May, yeah.
Yes, the month
And
of
next,
the happy May.
I guess next week technically it'll be my 1 year birthday. But when it's been starting off as it was always just me. I did everything on my own in isolation and complete by myself. I didn't tell anyone. The only ones that really knew were my best friends. I told them. They knew I was writing stuff, but
You would send us samples and stuff.
I would send them samples and be like, "Is this good? Is this even worth releasing? What do you guys think?" I don't know.
Yeah.
But there were iterations where I tried to look for other people. I tried to implement other people, but I like working alone because I make my own schedule. I write when I want. I rehearse when I want. I can do when I want. So it really just has always been me. If there ever was to be another member, I'd love to have a bass player, potentially. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, always just me. It's always been.
I'd like to take a moment now to talk about Follow Your Dark Day. I understand that very much like so many of us, in case you couldn't tell by my living room throw pillows, I don't know if you mind showing this.
Oh, the one next to me?
This one here, yes, in particular. It says, "Families belong together and free," and I picked that up at a Chicano History Museum in San Diego, and to support, of course, a very worthy cause. I'm going a bit off script here, but when I visited that particular museum, there are exhibits there that are just absolutely heart-wrenching, and they mostly have to do with children. Mm-hmm. And so I have to, of course, show that throw pillow and is a person with an American-born mother of Mexican descent, who also worked her whole life in Coachella, and you are likewise from Coachella, and a father who also worked in Coachella. You are likewise feeling rather indignant, to put it lightly, about the current brutality and inhumane treatment as thousands of dreamers and even permanent legal residents are being beset upon. And this is indeed a very dark point in history. I believe that will eventually come to be remembered rather unfondly as these dark times we are living in. And I must commend you for your human rights and humanitarian activism with writing such a song. And it is indeed dark and has a mood that is rather abrasive, and just so clearly paints the bleak outcome that sheds light on the dark and sacrificial, sadistic path of human suffering that this song is depicting. And so I'm going to assume, of course, since you said you work alone, that you wrote this song.
Yes.
It was not a collaboration. And so then, in your own words, what is it about and why did you write this song?
It's what is needed. It's what's right. It's what I have. It's an obligation that I have now, being able to put my art out there and being able to put it on these platforms and have whatever amount of followers see all these things. It would feel so ingenuine and gross of me to not do this. Yeah. Considering where I come from, who I hang out with, who my friends are, it would feel completely wrong of me because, like you said, absolutely. I mean, we're unfortunately following down this dark path, this dark day in history that we are. And every day you see a news article of something getting worse and worse, and nothing's getting better, and the person in charge has no care for human morality, or it's just it's me trying to do whatever I can to use my voice and put it out there. And I make it clear as day too before I perform the song. That's usually where I have my break for a cheers or whatever. But I will make sure to say something that this song is dedicated to those disgusting, vile people that walk among us with those red marks on their heads. And I won't say it, but I mean, it's absolutely F you people to those face, because I know them personally in my family, like close to me, and it's disgusting to see what people can put up with. So I feel like I just need to constantly remind those people that you're not welcome. This is not what we stand for. Like, even as a community, as a valley, as a friggin' state, as a country, this is not what we can be. It's not what we can be, but it is what we are following down on. So I don't know if you guys have anything you'd like to add, but
in my mind, I just have to pause because I heard all these voices just giving this giant woo, applause for you saying that. I hear the thousands of voices that are just applauding what you just said. Forgive me. I'm actually not on any substances either. Okay, so do continue.
But no, but Cherry, did you want to say something?
I mean, you kind of summed it up really well. It really just feels like in today's day and age, somebody having a platform, creating art, being on a mic, having a stage to speak. If you're not saying anything about the current state of our world, the current state of our country, the current state of our local politics, even down to the local level, all of this stuff is so important to be to be updated and educated on, and to be involved. And it's as simple as just knowing who you're voting for, be involved in midterm elections, be involved in anything you can that can make a difference. I think that's where our mind needs to be, because the last couple of years after coming out of a whole pandemic, it was better yourself and become a better person and and now it's well, the world's kind of falling apart, so where do we actually need to put our energy? It's about caring for other people and making sure that people in your own community have food and water, somewhere to sleep, something like that. And that's all. I feel like everyone that's here can kind of attest to that. It's crazy that even just from making music or doing drag or being involved in any kind of queer scene, you meet these people that make connections that are can I go help you donate food? Can I help you, donate clothes, do something? Can I do something to just be a part of the community and make a change? So I feel like our whole community has really just come together in that way.
Absolutely.
And it's all that conglomerate of people from BART that we've met at Creatures of the Night that is that same group of people that is just it's great.
All of us are so full of life and invigorated, and we want to create actual change. And so it's just one person creating everything that ricocheted after that. I mean, we've had 2 years now at BART?
Yeah, it's been 2 whole years, and it's kind of crazy because I got told this one thing by a coworker once that I was having political differences with, and they were you just need to let it go in this day and age. You can't be angry over things like that. And I looked at them and I said, I think in this day and age, it's time for people in my generation to not deal with it anymore and kind of put a stop to it. It's history repeating itself, and I don't think it is. I don't think it is the way to go. I think it's always going to be a fight, and as long as we keep the fight up together, nobody can stop us. There's power in numbers.
Absolutely.
You can't stand for nothing. You have to stand for something.
And I have to admit that very typically when I go to a local bar to watch an act perform, I'm not quite as impressed as the caliber of musicianship, with all due respect, or the sense of training that so many performers tend to be lacking in. And not all of them, but a vast majority of them, because they're just sort of this garage band type of setup thing. And I can tell that because you have such a skilled vocal technique, when I listen to you, I can tell that you either have undergone some type of classical vocal training, or your ear is just naturally gifted. And it just really comes through, even though your vocal in the song is a little bit further back in the mix. I can still tell it is of a certain quality or a certain aesthetic, for lack of a better term. And I recall also one of the songs that I watched you play when I met you at Plan B. You were also just ripping apart this metallic guitar solo, and I was nearly awe-stricken because it was just so fantastic. And I'm not honestly used to hearing someone play so well in such a small venue such as a bar. And so of course I have to ask you, what recording techniques did you use when you were recording this song?
Recording techniques.
So advanced.
Yeah, no. My recording techniques are as basic
So
as you can get. I mean, again, like I said, because everything is me, myself, I also am the one who's mixing and mastering everything too. So what you're getting is the straight recording of how I'm playing. It's pretty raw. It's pretty raw, aside from, some basic like vocal effects and whatnot, but everything, when I'm trying to play a song live that I wrote and recorded, I need it to sound the same, if not better, live, because that's why people are there. Yep. You're not gonna play something the way it's not. You're not gonna play it the way it's not written. Like it needs to sound good, just as good, or if not better, I think. But there's not really any secret, nothing. I don't think. It's maybe it has to do more with energy. I think energy and putting the energy into it live, because it's a completely different feeling hearing it speakers in front of my computer and then over a PA in a bar.
It's, I think it's crazy because it's sometimes I'll be waiting to do our song for the set, and every time somebody will always be like, his music is so good, but hearing him live is crazy. Like it's just it's a different energy and a different sound. You feel how raw the music is, and he's very humble. It's insane how much work gets put into it, and mixing and mastering, doing it all himself, and being able to put as many songs out in such a short amount of time is insane for how high quality they are and how short of amount of time that he's been mastering it. It's crazy.
I agree.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And I also must say that we would do this song a great discredit and the Gothic and industrial world a great injustice if I did not, in fact, share this song now in its entirety. And so this is Follow Your Dark Day by the one and only Dead Stare.
Enjoy.
Easy.
That was absolute magic. So raw and compelling. It's a song that is appalling in every sense that it should be. And people should feel the darkness and what I consider to be the sense of loss and shame when they hear it. And I am, of course, eager to hear more and attend more of your live performances because, as I mentioned, you all perform so brilliantly. And so now, of course, I have to ask, what are you working on or writing about now?
Ooh, okay. So right now, it doesn't have a title or anything like that, but it's more of an upbeat, gothy song. This is like definitely me trying my best to channel Sisters of Mercy. That kind of like high-paced, really bumpity-jumpity type of goth that I'm trying to do. So, in a perfect world, I would be debuting it next week, but probably not. So, yeah, we'll still look out maybe in the next couple weeks or so. You'll hear more from that song, and it'll come out.
Great! That I can't wait for it to come out. That's absolutely wonderful. And now we met at a show that you did at Plan B, and I was just absolutely amazed because Plan B is such a low-key type of place, and it's a place where you don't really expect a giant crowd to show up. But I watched you all performing and just could really feel the magnitude of your performance in terms of how you would present it to a much larger audience, which seems as though that would be an absolutely appropriate thing for you to do, especially since I was kind of debating on whether I should go that night. And after watching what it was that you did and having not ever been introduced to you before, I just can't say enough how absolutely delightful and entertaining of an evening it turned out to be. And I can't say enough about it. And
well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
You really just are so spectacular live, especially with the addition of Doll Nocturna and Miss Cherry Superstar.
Thank you.
And
Thanks so much.
I've often found that in the same situation where if I'm alone and I'm on stage, like for instance, I was trying to host an open mic night at Plan B, and it was just so much better when my ex-boyfriend decided to join me on the stage as well. If only just to have one other person to actually look at, and it just added so much to the energy and the enjoyment, I think, for the entire audience. As well as myself, because I feel as though sometimes it's just us against the world, and
shared energy.
being so seemingly misfit, it's so nice to have at least other performers to help join us in our strange and unusual gothic and industrial endeavors.
Absolutely.
And you all seem like such interesting people, so I would of course love to ask, what other special interests and endeavors do you have? What are your hobbies, or what do you do for fun when you're not working or songwriting or recording?
Well, I love my partner very much, so I hang out with my partner as much as I can. I'm also a photographer, and that's kind of how I started also in the drag community as well, as I started taking pictures for all the drag queens there. So now I'm there every Wednesday with them at BART. I'm also there every Sunday at 111 too, taking pictures with them. So I'm also doing that. I mean, I'm a huge nerd. I love like Marvel and action figures and all that crap that I just waste money on. But if I'm not doing that, I'm reading a comic book, or I'm just bed rotting, being lazy, and I just want to do nothing and relax. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, besides serving cunt, like it's a full-time job. Like it's a full-time job, baby.
It's Tuesday.
Exactly. I am really into fashion. I mean, I made this myself just for like my little birthday, and I've just been
I love that. I'm just now noticing how intricate that is.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like a little bikini top, and I just kind of distressed it, and then I just added safety pins and studs to it. And then this is like a bow. I just threw it in there. Yeah.
Also, she skipped over that. Happy belated. It was last week.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yes. 2400. I'm really excited.
BC, honey.
Exactly.
Baby, the doll. But yeah, I just really love photography. I mean, videography is how I really started getting into the creature scene. Yeah. Right, talking about how we met. Because I started taking videos of the queens, and I was like, oh wait, this is something that I really enjoy. And so then I was like, I have to get a tripod, I have to get lighting, I have to do this, I have to do that. And then I just started doing it all for myself, and it just became such a big hobby that then I was like, well, how do I monetize this hobby? So I was like, how can I make, literally, I was like, partying can be my job. So I was like, I started go-go dancing as Nocturna. And so that's how I started doing that. And then I was like, wait, I can actually also perform and get back into my dancing background. And so those are some little hobbies of mine that I like to get into, besides being like a nerd. Like how we went to go watch Five Nights at Freddy's together.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, like for myself, I do drag. Obviously, I'm a big old cross dresser and the heels and the wig and the corset, honey. I do that about 5 nights a week, but I also have a full-time job. So doing my job and drag, it's kind of like a tiring time. Drag is really hard. It really does. It takes it a lot out on your body. The long nights, the physicality of it, the brain power of it. It really does get to you. The hosting, the talking, the being a big personality and dancing and all of that. So I really, really take pride in like resting and spending time with my friends and spending time with my family and taking small moments just to enjoy, like, oh my God, like I get to sit here and lay with my dog and watch a movie in a house in the AC because like I'm so blessed to have this. You know what I mean? Like I work hard, but it's for the small niceties in life that like, you just feel blessed to have. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like my life and how me and my friends like run around the world, it really just feels like my life is always going at like 20 million miles an hour, and I love the ride. Yes. But to be able to slow down sometimes is kind of where I find like I'm like, nice, this is so cool. Like moving so fast and learning so much, having so many fun experiences. It's such a blessing and so fulfilling enrichment wise. But then having just a breather is kind of the best place to be.
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely feel you each on being able to just be yourself and then have those moments when you can just relax and not focus so much on work. Yeah. And now the name of the show is Dancing with the Dark, and so I have to ask you, of course, what is your darkest fear? What frightens you the most?
Okay, but like, how serious are we getting?
Yeah,
because you are my My fun,
Like a
not
cute
so
little-
fun answer is I'm absolutely arachnophobic. Like, I hate spiders so much. I hate. I'm sorry. I get rid of them all. I don't want them. Get rid of
spiders.
them all. Like, all the spiders.
Burn the whole house. Burn the whole house.
Yeah.
Burn it.
You know, I actually had something that I was going to add to the decor. Now
Really?
that you
It was
mentioned
a spider?
No, if you look over that way, do you see this little bag
The
that we
web.
have
Oh, the
here?
spider web. Okay,
Here,
I see it.
Just
still-
fun. And I had a
brought
real
it.
tarantula.
Right? I actually have a...
This was because we were getting this set ready here in such a hurry.
Oh, it's okay.
I have a lovely gift you can take home. with
Oh.
Oh, you know what? And we can use it as
We can
decor.
literally-
Oh,
we can
actually,
literally be
that's
perfect.
decor.
Yeah.
On May 22nd.
May 22nd.
May
For
22nd.
Desert Death.
Might be out after
Yes,
this, but
we
you know,
will. We will
next
get
year.
to that. We will get to that. No,
Next year
but
is Saturday, honey.
well, I hate spiders. But it's a gift, so thank you so much. And it will be great decor. But my serious answer, what frightens me the most is failure. It's just failure, and with no goal at the end. That's scary. I don't want to get there.
It's very real. I think, like,
I
yeah,
was
like,
about to say something. I was about to start reading, but I forget I'm a drag queen, so I was going to read, but I can't. Go ahead, girl.
no, because when you were talking,
Yeah, I was like,
I had so many
I was like, the cogs are turning, but they
Anyways.
stopped.
What's new?
all right, let's
Go ahead, girl.
silence drag voices.
Yes. Girl, sometimes you need to.
Honestly, I would, like, going off of that a little bit, I would say, yeah, not having, like, the motivation to do things is so scary. Like, being so overwhelmed by the things that are happening in the current state of this world, being a trans person, a trans woman of color, being of Latin descent, having people in my close communities that don't have, like, access to the things that they need right now because of the way that they can't move out of their house right now. It's very spooky, and just having that little escape is gorgeous. And so that fear is very real of not having that motivation, not being able to continue. But it all just makes me want to do it because I think of personal people in my life that need help right now during this very spooky time. And so for me, that is a fear, losing the motivation to continue. I mean, there's people before me and people after me that will continue that need to be inspired, I feel, right now. And so for the people that can't dance on the dance floor no more, that's what I do it for. For the people that can't listen to the music the way I can, that's what I do it for. For the people that don't have these communities like I do, that's what I do it for, because I want to build more. And that's that fear of not being able to do that. It's very
That's
scary.
beautiful. Yes.
And for myself, fears, like a light fear, I'm scared of the dark. I'm really scared of the dark. The cuckoo's gonna get me, girl.
Run fast.
Yes,
Run.
honey, I can't run fast the hills. But I think one of my truest fears now, it kind of just happened recently. Earlier this year, I was in a really serious car accident and I almost passed away.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I had a major like surgery and I was in the hospital for a couple weeks, and it was really big wake up call of just taking care of my body, knowing when and where to spend my energy. And I think I have just a big fear of not having my community around me. Like, cause I swear, being in the hospital, every single day I'd wake up and I'd have a new set of flowers. I'd have a person from my drag shows coming to visit me. I'd have, one of my best friends bring me food. It was like every single day, even the nurses were like, you are so loved. It's crazy to see how much people care and, see you. And that doesn't fall on deaf ears. I take that and it fueled my heart and soul to like, I need to get better. I need to be around these people because I love them and they love me, and I just want to make sure that I'm always going to be the best and the strongest and the best version of myself to give them the best,
Superstar.
yes, the superstar, but and not in a sense of like I feel like I always have to put on like a persona of like being strong, but give them the best in the sense of taking care of myself, being healthy, being there to, because if I don't take care of myself, I could die, girl. So it's like I want to make sure that I am there I'm there for the long run, girl. I'm here to make sure that I'm an old non-binary person that you can't tell if they're a man or a woman, and you're like, I like that one, whatever that one is. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be that old queer person in the bar that has made it. I think that's dying is kind of my biggest fear. Being an old queer person nowadays is literally my goal.
It's a dream.
It literally is to be able to be an old queer person, to survive, to see the world and grow old is what I want, so to have that I think is kind of my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear. But the dark too. the dark.
Also the dark.
Yeah.
Very well said. Very
Thank
well
you.
said. I have to ask you, of course, have you ever witnessed anything supernatural, as in ghosts or a paranormal activity? And if so, what was it? And are your homes haunted?
Ooh, okay. So the most experience I've had.
Yes.
So as for haunted homes, I've never lived in a haunted home, but I had a grandma in Calexico, like right near the border, where she swears to God, I don't know, she has a ghost that would follow her apparently. What was his name? Like Ronaldo or something like that. I'm not joking.
Soccer.
He was around. He was around.
As a ghost host, I believe perhaps me and Ronaldo have met.
Yeah, maybe.
Perhaps we did meet.
Right. Once upon a dream.
Yeah.
Once upon a dream.
But no, she had Ronaldo, who I think that was the name. I'm like, it's like something else. I don't know.
Right.
But he was like a ghost that was kind of just there and wouldn't. It wasn't like your typical spooky like ooh boo type of ghost. It was more of just like, Ronaldo, what are you doing?
You could sense him.
Leave it alone, like that type of thing, or like you could sense him, but.
Yeah. The bad dog.
There was that. There was like kind of similar to like the kind of like beads that you have as well, kind of like over there. My parents bought these beads one time from a store it was on the beach somewhere. They bought these beads, and I'll never forget because my mom tells me all the time about those beads, about how much she hated them because she was the one that would hear things and experience things and like would hear them, moving, or would hear something in the other room, and she was like, her mind, she's so paranoid. So when she would experience these things, she knew exactly like what's going on here. Something is different, and the only thing that's changed is those dumb beads. Like those beads have got to go. And sure enough, as soon as she got rid of the beads, like those things stopped. Like that, nothing else ever happened. But me personally, I've never experienced anything paranormal.
You're so lucky for that.
Yeah.
I know,
But
bro,
also,
you're so
like,
lucky.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be so boring.
I know.
I love you.
Boring.
I
Maybe
love
that's
you.
why I'm such a horror freak, because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, you know what?
You know what?
Humor me.
Yeah. Let's watch
humor
something.
me, Michael.
What about you?
You know
you
what?
have a spooky one?
I will tell you, I know where those beads went.
Oh.
But,
Well,
so, myself.
turn around.
Just call me Jingle Jangle.
Merry Christmas.
Myself. For like a paranormal story.
Right.
When I was younger, I feel like paranormal came to me in dreams constantly. I had sleep paralysis once as a child and once as an adult. I remember I was like sleeping in my sister's bedroom, and I was laying there with her, and I could like see her body. I was staring at the ceiling, but in the corner of the room, the figure to me in my brain at that moment, it looked like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. Just an ugly, like, mean face, like, hunched over. It was scary. So I remember that, and I remember, like, thinking, I was like, oh my god, the Grinch looks really weird. I'm serious. I was like, oh my god, the Grinch. And then, once in college, I was asleep. I lived in a triple dorm. So I was in a bunk bed, and I had my roommate above me, and my roommate across from me was on, like, the top above my desk and everything. So I remember one night we're all asleep, and I open my eyes and I see just a dark, shadowy figure. Like, if I'm laying this way, I could see it like over here to my peripheral, and I was trying so hard to scream. I couldn't scream. Nothing would come out. And eventually I managed. I vividly remember I got myself up out of bed and I'm tapping my roommate and he won't wake up. And I'm like, literally, like, I'm like,
Yeah,
and I'm trying to get the words out of my mouth and all I can go is like, like it felt like, oh my God, it's like weird. It's weird recounting this.
No,
it felt like
yeah.
someone was like holding my
your
mouth open and I couldn't like get words out. Like I was like, like, so I couldn't scream to like wake him up. And so we go to bed. I go back to bed, whatever. I don't remember how I got back to bed. I go to bed and I wake up the next morning and I go to my roommate. I'm like, hey, did I wake you up last night? He was like, you were like trying to talk to me, but you didn't wake me up. That's all I remember.
Cool.
I myself have had very similar experiences.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest.
sleep paralysis, or that this place in between sleep and awake.
Yes, real, and then it's
Very
like, I don't know if it
strange
was like, I'm like,
experiences.
was that
Do you
real?
happen?
It felt real, you know?
feels
I'm
real.
like, I'm sweating now, like recounting it, because I'm like, oh my God, like it felt so real, and it was just one of the weirdest, like, scariest,
Sensations
like, I was
unlike
like,
any other you
like,
can ever
hey,
describe.
you wake up and
any
you go
other
on
state
with your
of
days.
being.
And
What about you,
speaking
girl?
of sleep paralysis, so for me, I recount being like young.
Yeah, like little.
Little,
I feel like that's when
little.
it comes to you, you know?
Yeah.
Easiest.
Little,
It's
little.
the easiest to access you. low-key.
Right. So I'm like you're doing you, going to sleep, laid down, and then that's when I start being able to start seeing myself asleep. So now I'm watching myself sleep and I'm seeing a figure in the same room with me. So now this figure is on like the far right corner of the room and I'm on the far left, and then I'm like my body is on the far like full left.
You're like getting like a full view of it.
Full view, right? So here is my bed. Entities over here. Me, I'm in this corner watching myself, but my physical body's over there. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like that's the first time that's ever happened. So it was very intense. And throughout the years, like you're saying, how you only had 2 instances, baby, I was tapping in. I was tapping in.
It scares me. I can't, bro.
Like, it was almost like lucid dreaming, like I was trying to control the narrative, but it was sleep paralysis happening real time. And so sometimes I would understand that it was sleep paralysis, and other times it was like, what's going on? But I always felt like it was like someone, and I refer to it as an entity, because it did not feel like it was a dream, because this person was
Yes.
consistent.
Strong.
This person was consistent.
Yeah.
And there was a consistent silhouette the whole time. And so
Big, broad shoulders, corset.
right, yeah. Big broad shoulders, big back,
Sleep paralysis demon.
and so actually I'm facing my they brought me here live.
This is why they brought you here today.
We're facing
On
fears.
Speaking with the Dark.
Exactly.
Facing fears here tonight.
Thank you. So
I need to have you as all as a co-host all the time.
oh my gosh.
Round table
This
talk.
would be lovely.
Round table.
Yes,
Round
absolutely.
table.
And I have to admit that as a ghost host, I have a bit of an impish humor, almost sort of a practical joker of a spirit. And so, of course, I have to ask you, what is either your favorite joke or the most hilarious thing that has ever happened to you?
Go ahead, guys.
Baby.
You go first.
I was like, girl, you go first. I was like, you see, I was like, you know, girl, you know.
Baby, I have plenty of stories just on her alone. Looking a fool.
Oh,
I know, I love you.
girl. You're right.
Okay,
You're not
I can
wrong.
thinking of being a child again, right in that state, because I was in a different house. That house was so haunted and so spooky, and we can get into another time, like for sure. But being a child at that house, we would do summers, we would do s'mores, like little campfire moment, and one time they're like, oh, go get more s'mores, or else we're gonna throw yours in the fire. And I was like, what do you mean? I just made it. They're like, no, go get more. All my male cousins, right? And so I'm like, and I'm running. I go so fast into the sliding door to the point where the glass goes. Like, it's so It's so fucking crazy. And I'm like, no, and I'm like, and I'm literally like, just cartoonishly like so shocked, and I'm like, my nose, like I'm like the s'mores. My cousins, they throw it into the fire, and like my grandpa, the best part, he gets up and he goes, guys, guess who am I? And he starts. Oh, it was.
Oh my god, just ragging on you. That's so horrible. Oh no.
But that was one of the most hilarious stories growing up, just being a kid.
Oh my god.
A kid.
No, girl. Okay, so for myself, one of the most embarrassing that I can recall right now.
Right.
Girl doing drag, it's a humiliation ritual. But one of my second or my third time in drag, I was doing a competition. So this is only the third time ever I've performed in drag. I am doing Man, I Feel Like a Woman, Shania Twain, and Hanny. My wig, not only, so in order of the performance, I sweat a lot. So I am a baby queen. I was a baby queen, and my makeup was sliding and slipping off my face, 1. 2, I take a step in my gorgeous Demonia heels and I snap out of them. My foot snaps that shoe in half. So I'm 1 foot up and 1 foot down. Like I'm at the carnival trying to climb, baby.
Is this like 111?
Yes, this is at 111. So that's 2. And in the same 3-minute number, my wig falls right off my head, but not in like I whip my head and it's fierce and whatever. It just slowly starts to slide back and I get a really big forehead until I have to just walk a shame, pull it back down like a hat, baby. Like a hat, just pull the lace. Like it was too much. Yeah, so I learned how to use wig glue and to not wear dumb ass shoes when performing. Yes. But yeah, it's like it's a learning process doing drag. What about you?
I'm just thinking of, I don't know, I couldn't think of anything specifically, but I'm thinking about like performing wise. I have terrible like balance. I fall over for anything, and I lose my balance for anything. So
have you fallen during the performance?
Shit,
when you were a dancer.
Dude. When I was a dancer, yeah.
Yes.
Like, I did kick lines and I slipped and fell on my ass on stage. I think I was like next to her in the kick lines.
I remember
doing
that. Yes.
I've done that, but like even now as performing as Dead Stare, like there's so many. I can't not hit my face on the microphone. I'm like,
I love that.
The one thing I will remember is when you
keep doing it.
One of the first times you wore your mask when you took the sponge out, and it was like right against your face, and you're like, I literally can't breathe under this mask. It was like wet, and it was like wet in there.
It's it's trial and error.
Trial and error, baby. Trial and error. Art is trial and error.
It's when I was a baby Dead Stare.
Baby Dead Stare.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing those experiences with us. Those are absolutely hilarious. And I feel as though the Gothic and industrial world would suffer a great loss if you told us that there were no upcoming plans for the foreseeable future. And so I knew that there was a talk of an upcoming event for World Goth Day. So what are your upcoming plans?
Alrighty, everybody. May 22nd, Friday, May 22nd is Desert Death, a World Goth Day celebration. We'll have Vero Muerte, Dead Stare, Nervous Grave, Psychic Sables, Drag Queens, Miss Cherry. We have Salem Superstar. We have Miss Oceania. We have Go-Go's here. We have Anaya. We have Miss Honey, who's sitting off camera right over there. Terry, do you want to keep talking about it?
Yes, we have like amazing vendors. We have flash tattoos. We have some jewelry.
At
we
the
have
CB
clothing.
Brewing Company in Thousand Palms.
CB Brewing Company, Thousand Palms. It starts at 7 p.m. on May 22nd. It'll be full of cool things you can buy, people you can support, great people to watch. We're also gonna have a best dressed contest for it. So come in your best dressed goth attire, and you guys
like literally you can just grab mesh and just
honey, DIY it, baby. Have fun. Come out and express yourself, and come be with some like sick ass gothic, dark ass people, baby.
Especially
come join the dark side, honey.
The contest too. The contest. We're so grateful and thankful for our vendors for putting together and helping us with the little gift basket as well. So we'll decide a winner and who will be crowned the King or Queen or in between of Desert Death.
Yes,
the monarch.
Friday, May 22nd.
Yeah.
Yes. Hope to see you
Absolutely
guys there.
wonderful. Absolutely. I will certainly have to save the date myself, and I can't wait to be able to attend either that or another live event
Yeah.
and dance with you all again soon.
Yeah.
in
Dance
person.
till it hurts,
And,
baby.
because I do, of course, I enjoy dancing to Gothic and industrial dance music myself. And what better music, like I said, you just have such a wonderful quality to everything that I saw you perform when we met, and it was just absolutely spellbinding. And in the meantime, thank you so much, Miss Cherry Superstar, Miss Doll Nocturna, and of course the one and only absolutely gifted, spectacular, amazing Dead Stare.
Thank you so much.
So very much for joining me for this evening for Speaking with the Dark. And don't forget their upcoming show for World Goth Day, May 22nd at the Coachella Valley Brewing Company. Yes?
Yes, in Thousand Palms.
In
yes.
Thousand Palms. And any of your new releases and whatever it is that you are currently writing now, please do be sure to listen to what is available on Bandcamp, Spotify, anywhere that you can enter the name Dead Stare into any of your internet devices.
Everywhere.
This has been
Everywhere.
Celina, your Gothic ghost host, and until I materialize for the next Speaking with the Dark, be sure to keep listening to Dancing with the Dark every Sunday from 9 p.m. until the witching hour of midnight.
Yes.
Yes. Goodbye, my ghouls.
Bye, y'all. See you soon. Yippee!
Oh, yeah!